flooding. So businesses, homes really bracing themselves for that. Sandbags are out, and you can see these pubs, normally lovely riverside pubs with a great view of the river. These were flooded last week because of Storm Dennis, and now brace themselves again. Now have a look here. These sandbags now precariously looking a bit underwater. I'm just going to be careful because there are some steps under here. But Bobby Bosca, you're the manager here. I mean, how often do you see the river like this? It can't be very often.
I've been here just over 14 years. I would have to say that there is only just one sort of sign in the basement saying to November 2000. It's just gone over it. So at this point, obviously, it has raised since we spoke a couple of hours ago. It's obviously, we're worried about coming in, and at this point it's just hoping it's going to stop. Obviously it doesn't look very well, as it's going to raise a little bit more. So we're still standing here. Hopefully we're fine at the moment, but if it raises any more, it's just going to be a big problem. So.
And the water's seeping in. You've had to close. You flooded last week,
Yes.
potentially flooding again. This is a family-owned business. I mean, can you afford this?
We'll see. Obviously, insurance, being here, there is an exclusion. I would have thought most of the places here are the same. That's why next door, they try to keep it open. We as a family business, we don't. I wouldn't put anyone in risk, I would say. Not at this point. Even if they can come to the back, I wouldn't risk anyone. This is totally different level. So.
We've seen communities, across England, people in South Wales as well, really badly affected by flooding in recent weeks. And there is some anger with the government that not enough is being done to protect communities. How do you feel? Do you think there's been enough warning? Do you think there are enough flood protections here in Shrewsbury?
I wouldn't be able to say that, but I think definitely could be done a little bit more. Maybe they could dig a little bit more deeper. So maybe it wouldn't cover all of this. Maybe it could be a little bit lower. But I believe there's something more could be done.
Something more could be done. Well, thank you. Well, that's what you hear a lot. Really, people say events like this seem to be becoming more frequent. People feel more does need to be done to protect their homes and businesses. In the meantime, 2 severe flood warnings, one here in Shrewsbury, one down the River Severn at Ironbridge. And the bad news is we're expecting more rain in the next few days. So we may not be over the worst of it yet.
Becky Johnson in Shrewsbury there. We've got some breaking news from the World Health Organization. They're giving a briefing at the moment, and the head of the organisation has said that for the moment they are not witnessing the uncontained global spread of coronavirus, and they say that they are not witnessing large-scale deaths. The chief of the World Health Organization has said that using the word pandemic does not fit the facts, adding we must focus on containment while preparing for a potential pandemic. That is the update from the World Health Organization this afternoon. Any more news from that, we'll bring it to you. In the meantime, Italian state media say a 7th person has died in the country as it struggles to contain the biggest outbreak in Europe. There's been anger in the UK after it was revealed that 4 people who flew back from the Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan have now tested positive for the COVID-19 virus. Well, joining me now is Rosella Ceferano, whose father owns a B&B in Codogno in northern Italy and is facing financial difficulties due to a lack of tourists. Rosella, good afternoon to you. Thank you for speaking to us here on Sky News.
Thank you.
Looking remarkably cheerful given what's happening around you. Talk to us about what happened at the weekend and how it's affected you and your family.
I'm cheerful, let's say that, just because I'm trying to stay positive and keep calm. So that. And then basically we found out about coronavirus on Friday, I think. And basically our life changed in a matter of like a few hours because we got onto a lockdown. So it's not very nice, of course. So we're here and we can't work, of course, with our little hotel. There are no guests because no people can come in and go out of the little town I live in. So we can go out of the house, but we have to wear face masks, and we have to stay very far from each other, to other people, when we speak to each other. And we used to be very scared at the beginning when the news got spread. But now we're trying to keep calm and not panic, to not panic, because it wouldn't make sense to panic, because the news is keeping us informed about everything and about the whole coronavirus thing. So we're just trying, the whole town, all the little towns around me are trying to keep calm. Everyone is trying to just keep calm and not panic, basically. Yeah. So basically this coronavirus thing, of course, affected all the businesses in here, not just our hotel, because, of course, as I told you before, there are no guests here, but also everything in the town, is closed. All the shops, everything is closed, except for the supermarkets. There are 3 supermarkets open today, and the pharmacies, but people have to queue outside the supermarkets to get inside, because we can't go inside all at once, so we have to wait for our turns, of course. And we can't really it's better if we don't go out of the house. We can, but it's better if we don't go out and there's police patrolling all the borders. We can't go out of the town. And probably this situation will last for at least 14 days, and then we'll see what's going to happen.
Yeah, Rossella, you are being very calm and patient about it, because, like you said, what else can you do? Everybody in your town is in the same situation. Perhaps you can talk to us a bit about the size of Codogno. Forgive my terrible Italian pronunciation, but perhaps you can tell me a bit about the town and what this means, not just for your business, but for the town itself. Because, as you said, it's only 3 supermarkets that are open and the pharmacy. This is affecting everybody's livelihoods.
Yes, exactly. Because the town, we're 15,000 here, so we're not many people. And actually, Codogno was not known at all before Friday, and then the coronavirus thing exploded, basically, and now we're known globally. So it's crazy. I still can't wrap my head around it. I'm still trying to process everything because it's strange. So that's why it seems that I'm calm and everything, but we're trying. So everyone is, of course, everyone is a bit scared, but more worried than scared. But we're managing. We'll deal with this. We'll deal with this. Yeah, I'm sure.
What does lockdown look like? I mean, that might sound like a very silly question. Obviously, it's empty streets, it's queues at the supermarket. But you talk about authorities being there. And, there are several towns in the region where you are on lockdown. How many police are on the streets? What kind of information are they giving you?
You know what? I'm not really sure about that, because I will go out today for the first time since Saturday. But my dad went out this morning and he told me that there are police officers all around the borders and all around the streets to go out of town, and to go into the other towns that are affected by the lockdown. So we can't go to the other towns affected by the lockdown. And then we can get a fine. Actually, I think we will get a fine if we are caught going out of here, because obviously we must not spread the virus more than it's already doing it. So, yes.
Well, Rossella Ceferano, thank you so much for speaking to us on Sky News. Hopefully it's killed a bit of time for you. As I said, it's a waiting game for you now the next 2 weeks, you and your family, but we wish you well. And perhaps we'll speak again as the week goes on. You could tell us how the town and you and your family are coping.
Sure. I'll let you know.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Rossella Ceferano there in Codogno in Italy, one of the towns affected by COVID-19, currently on lockdown. This is the Sarah Jane Mee Show here on Sky News. Coming up after the break, we'll take a look at today's sports news.